Hello, everybody. This is Dr. Duchavo. Welcome back. We are back for Spring 2020 Anatomy and Physiology 2, and welcome to the course. As you know, this is team taught. I teach the online lecture and in-person lab on Mondays. I'm also teaching a basic A&P this semester that is outside of this course. We have Dr. Folletti. And we also have Dr. Evans, and we are very blessed to have them. So, whoever you have, we will all be following the same format. Unless you're in Dr. Evans's evening Tuesday, Thursday, you should have her for lecture and lab. So if you are getting this video, it means you may be in the wrong section. Email me. That's only if you're supposed to be in the evening Tuesday, Thursday with Dr. Evans. Let me know, okay? Now, otherwise, if you have us either online or on Monday and Friday or Monday evening with Dr. Evans, this is the class for you. So I'd like to do a brief introduction. This should all look pretty familiar. If we look at the left here, we have announcements. I will send announcements slightly different this semester. I'm going to send them Friday, and then you'll have until the following Friday to complete the information. I think it'll be a little bit more helpful. Quizzes will be open until Friday. It gives you a little time to get prepared. I have a calendar with that new information we will look at in just a minute. Start here is a nitty-gritty of background of me. This welcome video will be posted there. If you have any tech needs, you can go into start here and you can look up the tech support phone number. Syllabus you should be familiar with. We'll look at that briefly, but the bulk of the material will be under content. So let's get right to it. Announcements we're not going to look at because you'll get your weekly announcements also sent in as an email. Read every word. That's the best advice I can give you. Follow exactly what I give you every week and you'll be all set. Print your notes, watch your videos, memorize it as best as you can. Go to lab, listen, study every day for lab and lecture, and you should be good to go. Okay? Here's the syllabus. This is the same format as previous A&P 1. Let's take a very quick peek at it. For lecture, we'll have that same format. First of all, I'm having review hours in my office. Oh, I put 9. It should be 9. I'm sorry. Mondays from 9 to 11 and Tuesdays 11 to 1 in the biolab, which is 2144. On Mondays, I can't guarantee it. I'm going to try to come early. I'll try to be here at 8:45. If you need to meet with me, especially if you have in-person lecture, that gives you 15 or 20 minutes to come in and meet with me if you'd like. If you want to meet early, shoot me an email. That way I'll make sure that I'm there. Otherwise, it will definitely be in Mondays from 9 to 11. There's my email. Email is the best way to get a hold of me. I do not use course messages. And of course, you can meet me in person or in lab. We will have 4 lecture exams. I have the specific dates for you. And then weekly online quizzes, which will be open book. Once again, I show you the dates that they're due. They're not going to be due Tuesdays. They're going to be due every Friday at the end of the week. I think this is going to be an easier way to follow the material. We'll look at that in just a minute. And then your workbook review is going to be the same as it was when you went in lab. I'll show you where to print the workbooks, but you bring them into lab and the lab instructors review them. I also do that because we use them for lab to look up material. The lecture grades will be given to you immediately because you take the lecture exams. Oh, there we go. Online. You can either do that through the proctoring system that we have in place, or I will proctor in person Mondays between 9 and 11 and Tuesdays between 11 and 1. I'll send out a sign-up sheet the week before lecture exams explaining all of that. Otherwise, you can use the Respondus proctoring system at home. I'll walk through that as well. Lab exams are going to be week 5, 10, and the last week of class. Those grades are usually handed back within a week. Online quizzes are graded immediately as well. Lab quizzes will grade and hand back to you the week after you take them. Here's the text. It is optional. I give you a ton of material in class if you'd like to save the money. You can also absolutely use an old edition if you want to buy one that is old, 7th, 8th, I don't care. They barely change the material in it. I mean, I care, of course. But you can buy an old one for $5 if you could get a hold of it. So that's my 2 cents on that. Course description and prerequisites, you can read through that on your own. 215 is the prereq. You'll have to have at least a D in 215 to move on to 216. Examinations, I'm telling you, and people tried this in the fall, I will not reopen the online quizzes after they close. You have a full week to do them, guys. So please get them done by the due date. I'll show you the due dates are crystal clear. So don't miss it. Don't wait until that evening to take it. I know I leave it open until midnight on Fridays now. Don't take it Friday at 11 o'clock at night. If there's a problem, I can't get to you. I'm old. I go to bed early. I'm in bed by like 9. If you have a problem, make sure you take it at least the night before so I could see it in the emails that day. I'm laughing, but it's true. I don't stay up until midnight anymore. I'm too old and tired. Maybe it's my kids that make me tired. Okay, so examinations, you can take them in person. You could take them online. For the lecture exams, lab exams are in person. You cannot miss more than 3 labs. Please make sure that you don't miss them. If you're going to miss one, contact us. We'll get you rescheduled. If you're very, very sick, of course you can miss one, but you really shouldn't be sick 3 times in a semester. If you're caught cheating, you will receive a 0. Please don't cheat. Please put your cell phones down. Please don't cheat when you're taking the lecture exams. Do not get up during the lecture exams and leave. Don't look at other people's papers or computers during the exams. Okay? Please, please, please don't put us in that position. Course objectives and student learning outcomes you can look through on your own. Of course, if you have accommodations, email me or your other professors and come see us. We will, of course, help you through that. Evan Lester is the director. You can reach out to her as well. There is no attendance policy for lecture because everything is online. Even if you're in the in-person lecture, you can watch it online and vice versa. If there's something that looks really hard to you, you can absolutely go watch the in-person lecture with Dr. Folletti. Okay, if you miss a lab, please reach out to your fellow students for the information. You can absolutely also come to those open lab hours. If you can't reach that time, or make that time, let me know and we'll work something out, or let your lab instructor know. Lecture's all online though, so it makes it easy to make it up. Study. Oh, guys, I say this every semester. Study ahead. Don't wait till the last minute. There's a ton of material, as you already know. Please, please, please start studying now. 1 hour a day pretty much is all it takes. Here's a lecture outline, but I have a much better one that I created that I'd like to show you. So let's go into the course. I have this set up to see it as if you're a student. I'm sorry, let me just backtrack quickly. Here's the start here. I'm going to repost this lecture video, welcome video, I'm sorry. There's general course information, there's tech support, there's a little bio about me, your textbook, etc. So it's a good once-over for that kind of material. Syllabus we did. So content, I created a weekly schedule. So boom, it's right in content. You open it up. I just thought this would be helpful to kind of put everything on one page. And you can see here, week 1, week 2, week 3. And on the modules that we'll look at in just a minute, I've got them labeled as well. And there are the dates that everything is due. So by 26 at midnight, guess what? Your quizzes are due. You should have gone through the week 1 material. You should be ready for week 2, okay, etc. So that just repeats, except for the dates. And once again, I thought having everything on one page would be helpful. Until we get to week 4, you can see there's lecture exam 1. Okay, we're going to have that on Monday, February 10th. Or if you need proctoring, you could come in Tuesday, the 11th, between 11 and 1. And I will proctor you in the bio lab. If you're going to take on the Respondus, you'll have to take it Monday. We will open it Mondays between 8 a.m. and 1 p.m. Okay, if those times don't work, reach out to me as soon as possible. Week 5 is the lab exam. Then week 6 content, week 7 content, week 8 is going to be lecture exam 2. Once again, Monday, March 9th, we'll have it open 8 a.m. to 1. If you need to be proctored in person, I will be in the lab Mondays between 9 to 11, Tuesdays 11 to 1. Once again, I'll send a sign-up sheet for that. March 15th, spring break, yay! That'll be a nice little breather. It always comes at just the right time. Week 10 will be your lab exam. March 31st is the last day to officially withdraw. Week 12, lecture exam 3. There's a content for them too. I thought that would be helpful. And then week 14 will be your lab final. And then May 4th, I believe, lecture final will be Monday, May 4th. I'll proctor as well. Monday 9 to 11 and Tuesday 11 to 1. I will send out the information for the exam dates as we get closer, and also a sign-up sheet if you want to be proctored in person. When it is time for your lecture exams, you will need to use the Respondus app. If you are not familiar with the Respondus app, I have a video to review that in week 1. So we'll look at that in just a minute. You will go through the Respondus app. It will bring you to Blackboard, to this course. You'll get into this course. You'll go into content. You go into all tests, and you will see the exam when it is time open there. You'll click on it and take it. You do not go into Blackboard to take your exams. You need to go through the Respondus app. For quizzes, other than I have a brief quiz on how to use the Respondus app, all quizzes you go right into the course. They are not proctored. So major exams and lecture, go through the Respondus app. Quizzes you do not. And they will be in content, all tests for the major quizzes. If there's a nice lab review. Those are all lab reviews, pictures included, with our little skeleton rep there. Kind of funny, but anyway, well, I think it's funny. Okay, so let me, while we're talking about major exams, come in here. Once again, when you do a major exam, you will have to use the Respondus app. Come in here, watch this Respondus, how to use Respondus video. It'll show you how to download the app, how to use the app. Every time there's a major exam, you use the Respondus app to get to it. Okay? This quiz here is the only quiz you will take with the Respondus app. The only one. Okay? So the rest of the quizzes are open book. You will see them in every module or every weekly content. So like here's quiz 2, you would just click on it and take it. You don't need to use Respondus for that. Okay? Okay. So, I'm sorry, let me back up a little bit. So for the weekly material, you would go into content. Here is week 1. Now we're flip-flopping the chapters between week 1 and week 2. The reason is Chapter 7 is what I call kind of point and shoot material. Chapter 7 is here's a humerus, here's the femur, here's this, here's that. So I actually flip-flop them. So you'll see, just ignore it for now. I don't want to make things confused. It says quiz 2. I know that it's, you know, your first quiz. It's just because I switched the material because you will watch week 7 at home because it is easier material than week 6. So when we come into week 2 in person, I don't know if you guys know this, we missed this coming Monday. It's a holiday. So when you meet actually in person for the first week on, I forget the exact date, it'll be whatever that Monday is that we first come back, you will review chapter 6 in person. Okay, so this is week 1 content. Complete all of this at home during your first week when we don't meet. You will do the introduction, print the PowerPoints, watch the video, print this prep. Once again, I know it says 2, just ignore that. Okay, and then you'll take this quiz. Even though it says quiz 2, you're going to do that during week 1. You will also watch the Respondus video, take the quiz. Okay, and then these are optional questions that you can do to review the material and or use as you're working your way through the material. Okay, And every week you'll see I put all the material in one folder. So when you open up week 1, I have an introduction up here that literally tells you, well, you're supposed to print the notes. I forgot to put that in there. Watch the videos, take the quizzes. And then you come down, print the notes, watch the videos, print the prep, complete it, bring it into lab. Move that up a little bit. Take these quizzes, okay? And then these questions are optional. Every week is now organized that way with all the material in the same folder. The dates at the top of the folder. The quizzes will usually close, okay? If you make note, I made these quizzes due until February 2nd. That gives you 2 weeks. Only this one time, because I know it's a little confusing not having met with the first week. Okay, so week 1 material, I gave you till February 2nd, but try to make your way through the material itself by the 26th. And then you'll see for week 2, okay, same thing. I made it all due February 2nd. It gives us a little bit of time to sort of get used to this content and presentation. So here's week 2. You'll see should be done between January 27th and February 2nd. Boom, you open it. I tell you exactly what to do. We're going to be covering bones. This is actually the microscopic anatomy of the bones. You're going to print the notes, watch the videos, fill in the workbook for lab, take the quiz. So you're going to print the notes, watch the video, complete the workbook. You get the gist of it. Take your quiz. I made this quiz due February 2nd too. Once again, gives us a little catch-up time. It says quiz 1. Just ignore that once again because I flip-flopped this material. This will be the week that if you're in person, you will cover this content with Dr. Folletti in person. Okay? But I organized it this way. I think it'll be a lot easier to follow. All the material for this week is in this folder and you're good to go. The other slight difference that I have made is I will open the weeks as they are coming up. Okay, so week 1 you can see is open. Week 2 I opened because of that weird flip-floppy presentation and missing a week. And then when week 3 comes around and I do the weekly announcements, I'll open that for you. I will also do weekly announcements every Friday now, just so you know. But it's pretty well laid out with all the dates at the top there. I think it's going to be a much easier format. Once these weeks open, then I'll leave them open. But I thought it would clean it up a little bit for you all. Okay. So that is your once over. We will meet with you in lab and go over the lab content with you. And of course, as always and forever, I'm here for you. If you have questions, shoot me an email. Welcome to spring of 2020. I look forward to working with you. We will see you in the next 2 weeks. Have a great day, guys. Take care.